Hey everyone, Soul here, and welcome to my preview slash discussion of Dimensions and Transcendence Tier 3. I ended up doing one of these for Tier 2, and people that watched it really seemed to enjoy it. And I had a lot of nice discussions with people, about the stage and comps and such, and so I decided to do this again for Tier 3. So, as always, a huge thanks to my friends over at the Tomberry Troop website for their exhaustive research on the stage and just everything they do. They make my job, which is covering this for you guys, so much easier, and so of course they get a lion's share of the thanks. Links to their website, Patreon, and stuff below will be down below if you want to check them out and help them out, because they do God's work for this community. And yeah, just wanted to thank them profusely for that. Also, this video would not be possible without my friend Sephi. He recorded gameplay. Hey, that's something that my Tier 2 review did not have. So yeah, there's going to be gameplay in this one. That way you guys can see the fights for yourselves, can see what's happening in the background while the fight's happening, etc., and have a visual thing to look at that will go along with all the information I'll be dumping in here. So anyway, thank you, Sephi, for the information and the help. His YouTube channel will be in the description below. He makes Omnia content too. Give him a follow. Without need of further ado, guys, I'm sitting here tripping over myself already. I haven't barely got out of the intro yet. Let's get started with the left gate in Dimensions and Transcendence Tier 3. Okay, so these are the enemies from Gao's stage, these raptor bosses. To even enter the stage, well, not to enter the stage, but to completely clear the stage, you are going to need to have a yellow crystal character in the party. The orb will appear at 79% HP at a 20 count, and the only way to increase the orb is by launching the target, which will increase the orb by 5 turns. Now the boss notes: they absorb dark. Turn count is 70 to get through 16.5 million HP total. Frequent AoE brave HP attacks. If you are allowing these enemies to act, you're going to need to bring some big boy heals, because these guys hit hard and they hit often. Single target kick ++ will delay you. Now you're getting for your yellow crystal, you have some options here. Lael is 100% tailored for the stage. Other launching yellow crystals include Tifa. She does have the launch on her EX. Ramza and Keese. Keese may be locked. One of those two may be locked in Tier 1 though. Plenty of other yellows with Y'shtola, Bartz, Yang, Balthier, Bosch, Desh, and Null. So those are your yellow crystal options. Launcher in party is Lael, Ramza, Keese, and Tifa. They were the most popular options. You can run call-only launch comps, but you generally needed to use either Strego or Squall, because those two just take 3 enemy waves and just absolutely just wreck their shit. So bring one of them if you want a damage rush. Lael is excellent here, of course. You guys already know what Lael does. Non-stop launching with his LD, etc. Rams with just his LD is enough to make it work. Tifa has incredibly high single target damage. Her instant turns into EX let her work as her only launcher. Using calls, though, can help supplement that. And then Keese, of course, is just... Keese and Lael together, if you have those two and use them together, they're nuts. That combo is insane. Strego and Squall eat the stage for breakfast. 3 enemies versus their 100% AoE basic attacks have no chance. They can end the stage in under 25 turns. Crazy. And then Karasme is a massive enabler with his huge HP damage up. He is a big help if you are intending to damage race this and you're just using launch calls. Galoof is great, but be careful of the turn when his LD buff falls off, as their AoE HP attacks are magic, so he may not be able to dodge them. Gao is also a great option. These enemies were from his event, obviously, and he can help keep your party healthy and keep enemies shaved despite their delays. If you're giving the enemy turns, expect that you will need an adept healer like Bosch or Desh. Plenty of other options work fine. So, let's recap here. Yellow crystal character, you're going to need launch either in your main party or as calls. However, if you are running calls, you are going to need to bring some big boy firepower, because yeah, that orb, 3 orbs, tick, there they go. Yeah, this is as far as like Dimensions end waves and stages. This one's pretty simple. There's a lot of AoE damage coming. So if you're giving them turns, make sure you bring a big adept healer. And if you're not giving them turns, then bring some big boy firepower to get through it for the orbs to go off. All in all, not too bad of a stage. Yeah, let's go ahead and switch on over to the right gate now. Okay, and now the right gate is against 2 King Behemoths. The orb will appear at the battle start with a 20 count. You're going to need a white crystal character to complete and fully perfect the stage, and the way to increase the orb is to take reduced HP damage, which is a +6 count. I don't believe we've had this orb requirement thus far in Lufenia, so this is a unique one. Some key character examples: Warrior of Light, Porum, Galoof, Golbez, and Celeste. All those characters have some form of HP damage mitigation. So, boss notes. Turn count is 80 to get through 20 million HP. Bosses must take turns in order for you to meet the orb condition. So you can't delay cheese these guys, you can't yeet and delete, etc., etc. You actually have to give them a chance to do their thing. All AoE attacks are AoE HP attacks. One of them has a Brave gain in HP, while the other has a Brave hit into HP. At various times, the boss will apply 6 generic buffs for 3 turns. One of them is HP regen. The boss will recover 100,000 HP per turn. 100,000 HP, and at this point in Lufenia, it's really not that bad. Like, it's... Strago himself can churn out, like, 500,000 on 2 enemies every turn, you know, 250,000 dumps on each. So 100,000 is... it's peanuts. You can certainly plow through this with a normal team and not worry. 300,000 HP or even 600,000 HP only adds a few turns to most teams. The turn count is generous at 80. So basically what I just said. Apply 4 frame debuffs to the enemies to prevent the HP regen buff from being applied or to push it off. So let's talk about some key characters here and who you should consider bringing. So you're going to need a white crystal character. Warrior of Light and Porum are perfect for the stage. Other white crystals that reduce HP damage include Nine and Guy. Other potential choices for white crystal include Gao and Emperor. So for HP damage reduction, the Atomic Troop has an entire section on their site dedicated to this character role. But Warrior of Light, Porum, Galoof, and Celeste all reduce the party's HP damage taken as shown above. Golbez is special as his Shadow Dragon buff reduces his own HP damage. The frequent enemy all attacks ensure that he can handle the orb single-handedly. That's pretty neat. So if you don't have any of these HP damage mitigators, you can bring, if you have Golbez, you can bring him, and then whenever he gets hit, he'll take reduced damage, and then he himself is handling the orb just by himself. And then they have it in all caps: consider breaking enemies out of order to ensure that they get turns. So another simple stage, something I've noticed is that on these Dimensions End tiers, when it's like older bosses, they don't really update the older bosses' AI script too much from what I can tell. They just make the attacks themselves hit harder, and that's basically it. So these Kaiser Behemoths, we've been fighting these things since the dawn of fucking time in this game. Yeah, they're going to be doing a lot of AoEs. Same deal as the first gate with the Gao Raptors. Just HP damage mitigation. And yeah, you'll be good to go. Not too much to say here. I know a lot of people, and I do mean a lot of people, are going to be polling for Porum because of how good she is with that LD. And yeah, Porum is just going to make the stage a joke. So I don't think for many people this stage will be a problem. But for those of you that will not have Porum, then yeah, Galoof, Celeste, Nine, Guy, Warrior of Light, all great white crystal options that can reduce damage. Alright, so with the 2 gates out of the way, let's move on over to the main gate, the Reckoning Gate, and talk about what makes that gate so scary. Alright, and here we are with the Transcendence Reckoning, the main gate. This is going to be a 2-wave stage versus 2 Spineclads and 2 Snake Pods. Wave 1 does not have an orb. Wave 2 will appear at 79% HP with an 8 count. And to make the orb go up, you have to recover HP with HP regen, which is +2. So, as long as you have HP regen, you have no danger of the orb ever running out. So, you're going to be good to go there. Now, some key character examples: Warrior of Light, Porum, Galoof, Tifa, Lael, and Ashe. Let's talk about the boss notes here. So the Snake Pods absorb water. Turn count is 100 to get through 24 million HP total. Wave 1, the Spineclads, every few turns. So these are the dragons that we fought in Charlotta's event. That was ages ago. Charlotta's event, and then Dimensions End, I want to say 12. I could be wrong about that. I think it's 12, though. So every few turns, they will target themselves and do a 65,000 Brave gain. Their next turn is an AoE Brave HP attack that bypasses Brave shields but does not bypass HP damage reduction effects. At 49% HP, they will do a Brave gain plus a massive Brave damage reduction. You must launch them in order to remove this Brave damage reduction aura. So they're really trying to sell you Lael here. This Lael or bust for this. Not really, but you guys know what I mean. So wave 2, 79% HP and 49% HP, they will delay themselves, lock their turns, and gain a Brave damage reduction aura until their next turn. On their next turn, they will gain 60,000 Brave and do an AoE HP attack. Yeah, like silly, crazy, massive amounts of damage. Yeah, but bring healing, massive healing. So, key character notes required, all number bullets. Number 1, you're going to need launch, 1 for each boss in wave 1 at 49% HP. Lael and Tifa are excellent. Just note, Tifa will need to use S2 to recharge her EX again for an additional launch. You can use calls here. Cloud and Ramza work very well and allow you to skip using a launcher in the party. That's what I'll be doing. I'll be bringing either Cloud or Ramza. I haven't decided which one yet as a call. And then just, launch and forget about it. You only need to launch once for each boss, and you never need to launch again. So they only gain that reduction one time at 49% HP. And number 2, you're going to need HP regen for the orb. Easiest thing to do is give someone on the team a Pora or Rosa Sphere. Even Refined is fine. So I believe with Dimensions End, we're getting a co-op. You'll be able to make Porum Refined Spheres there, which is, I believe, it gives the party like a regen of 1% of their HP when you fulfill the condition. There you go. Orb's taken care of. Bada bing, bada boom. If you're not using that, then Porum, Galoof, Ash, and Ignis cover HP regen otherwise. So nice to have. Protection against large AoE HP attacks. Warrior of Light and Porum specialize in reducing HP damage, with Warrior of Light basically trivializing the stage. Porum does the same thing. She basically trivializes it as well. Galoof and Hope can also reduce incoming HP damage, Hope on his C65. Battery to counteract Brave damage reductions. Yeah, there's a lot of reductions going on here, so Battery is highly encouraged if you have it. Now, some creative and unique runs that the Tonberry Troop mentioned here. They mentioned a channel content creator called Fictinaji. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. He used Squall Burst, Hope's LD, and Ignis LD with calls Kurasme, Cloud, and Setzer. It was the only video that did not use Warrior of Light, Porum, or Galoof. So, as you can see through the gameplay here, or have seen rather, Wave 1, these enemies are tanky as shit. They are very fat. They hit really, really hard on their AoEs, and then at 49% HP, they do a massive Brave damage reduction and Brave gain, and you need to either launch. You need to launch them first of all to get that away, and then break them at some point then too. And then Wave 2, these are just reskinned Medusa heads. Oh yes, we all love the Medusa heads from Monkey Knights Lufenia. They do kind of the same deal, however, they thankfully do not have as frightening Brave gain reductions as they did the first time we saw these things. But yeah, 79% and 49%, they delay themselves, lock their turns, and gain Brave damage reduction until their next turn. And then they do a massive AoE. So clearly, all of these stages are built for taking massive amounts of AoE damage and then reacting accordingly, having the means to tank that, and then to keep on going. So now that we've talked about the gates and the requirements for each, let's talk about who I will be using for these stages to get through this and claim our 3 burst tokens. So let's go ahead and start with the left gate. So the left gate, let's recap, needs a yellow crystal character and it needs launch. Ramza is perfect for the stage because not only is he yellow crystal, but he does have the launch from his LD. Strago in a 3 enemy fight is just an absolute monster. And Ami, we're going to be deleting the enemy's turns, and this is just going to be a slaughter. This gate, not going to lie guys, this gate is just purely a meme. This is going to, I don't even know if the enemies are going to get a single turn, because Ami is going to be constantly deleting everyone. Ramza, of course, is our orb management plus buffs. And then Strago is just going to be popping off 3 enemies plus his skill 1. It's over. It's over. That is some crazy damage right there. So yeah, left gate is just a complete joke. Yeah, not much more to say here. Yeah, it's just going to be a shit stomp. So for the right gate, let's recap. We need a white crystal character and then HP damage reduction. And surprisingly, the Tonberry Troops website, especially in this, like the suggestions area, didn't even mention this character, which I'm very surprised about. So for the right gate, I'm actually going to be running Paladin Cecil, Sephiroth, and Sarah. Paladin Cecil is great because he has HP damage reduction at full health. He has HP regen healing. He has his god auras. I mean, he's great. He's great. He's got his enchant and peril stuff going on as well. So yeah, he's going to be awesome. Sephiroth, he is going to be the burst synergy, and by the time this Dimensions End stage rolls around, Sephiroth's rework will have dropped in global rework plus his LD extend. And combined with Paladin Cecil and Sarah's auras, I think Sephiroth is just going to be popping off. This is basically the tier to make Sephiroth look great. just an absolute monster. And then Sarah rounds out the rest of the team with her debuffs plus her auras. So between Paladin Cecil and Sarah, that's 40% extra HP damage up. A bunch of brave damage dealt up. Sarah's our battery person. Paladin Cecil can even battery some too. And yeah, I think this team is going to just completely stomp that tier, that gate, and yeah, it's going to be a GG from there. So, the main gate, moving on to the main gate now, we need HP regen for Wave 2, and then there's no orb on Wave 1. We need launch at 49% HP, but we only need launch once, thankfully. And past that, it's just a straightforward fight. So between these two teams, I've been going back and forth on who I want to use. I was originally thinking I'd bring Ramza, because Ramza, of course, is instant break with his skill 1. He has powerful generic buffs, and his free turns since HP plus are great too. And then, of course, he would provide us the launch that we need, so we wouldn't actually have to bring a launch call, which would be great. But just looking at this team going back and forth, I think I'm going to try Paladin Cecil, Sephiroth, and Sarah for the main gate. Paladin Cecil, again, he's got the HP regen that we need for Wave 2. He's got his God Auras, he's got the HP overflow, so we can actually survive the AoEs. Sephiroth is going to be popping off, doing his thing, giving us that burst synergy that we need. And then Sarah, you know, I just explained it. With Paladin Cecil, this team is going to have some just silly auras going on. Silly. Should be a lot of fun. Now, if this team doesn't work, I'll probably sub out Sarah for Strago, and then run Paladin Cecil, Sephiroth, Strago. I think that team would probably get it done as well. I will have significantly less auras, though, so I'm not sure how effective that team would be. But not gonna lie, having Strago's canceling break and then instant break with his LD would probably be really good for that gate. So I'll probably run Jack Call for sure, either Gabranth or Ignis as the second call, and then obviously Ramza. I'm going to need Ramza Call for the required launch on Wave 1. But yeah, I think this team will kill it. I think it'll do great. Again, I was very surprised to see Paladin Cecil not mentioned on the Tonberry Troops suggested characters section. But yeah, I think he's going to just be perfect. I think he's going to do great. And one of the best parts about these comps, if I can pull it off, is that I'll actually be saving Porum for a future Dimensions End Transcendence tier. Porum is really good. She's really good moving forward in the future. So having her in my back pocket gives me a ton of flexibility moving forward. And I think it's going to work out wonderfully. So I am very excited. Now, people who might have been following my Dimensions and Transcendence clears might be surprised to see Paladin Cecil here, and I actually ended up freeing him from Transcendence 1. I originally had him in the left gate where you needed holy damage. I ended up subbing him out for Kuja. Kuja was doing the holy damage that we needed then, and then I used Arden and 9, and that team Kuja, Arden, and 9 got it done. So Paladin Cecil is here. I'm very, 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 very confident about my 2 teams for the 2 crucibles, so the lower gates. It's the main gate that I'm going back and forth on. I think I'll try Pencil, Sephiroth, Sarah first. Just have all the auras, all the craziness, and then if that doesn't work, then Paladin, Cecil, Sephiroth, Strago, I think should get it done. No problem. But yeah, so that's it for me, guys. Let me know down below, what do you guys plan on using for your clears and Transcendence? Let me know your teams for the left gate and the right gate, and then your main gate team as well. Be very, very curious to see who people are planning to use. I know a lot of people are planning to use Porum here, and for good reason. She's incredible. She'll definitely be a big boon to your team. But yeah, again, I want to save Porum personally moving forward. She's great, and yeah, she's not going to be dropping off anytime soon. So yeah, I'm excited. But yeah, all these auras, Sarah, Pencil, their auras stacking. Pencil giving us elemental weakness and imperil. I mean, Sephiroth is going to be just popping off with that rework. It's going to be so gorgeous. I can't wait. I really can't wait. I think it'll be great. And then alternatively, if I need like some more damage reduction, I can bring Ferris as a call, and Ferris will just completely just nuke enemies' damage, and then lower their defenses significantly as well. So that's definitely an option. But yeah, so just to recap here, for the Yellow Gate, Ramza, Strago, and Ami, no burst synergy needed because frankly this team doesn't need it. They're just going to be stomping all day long. GG Raptors. Right Crucible will be Pencil, Sephiroth, Sarah, and then main gate, Pencil, Sephiroth, and Sarah. So yeah, I would definitely like to thank again the Tonberry Troop for all their hard work. Thank you guys for being so gracious to the community and working so hard, providing all this great information. Rem from the City of DB. I did not thank Rem in my intro. Shame on me. Rem is like the godfather of all this Dissidia information, and so owe him major props as usual. And then my friend Sephi, last but not least, for providing the gameplay that you guys were watching while I was flapping my gums. So without all these great people, I wouldn't be able to do this. So go check them out, websites, channels, etc. I'll have all the information in the description below. Yeah, so go give them your support because they definitely deserve it. And guys, yeah, thank you guys all for watching. I really appreciate it. I had fun making this. Hopefully you guys enjoyed watching. Let me know down below again what your comps are. Let's have some fun discussions. And as always, I am active in my Discord server if you'd ever like to stop by and say hello or talk DFFOO or whatever. We meme and shitpost in there all day and talk some Omnia as well. So it's a lot of fun. But anyways, link that will be down below in the description if you're interested. But yeah, that's it for me, guys. Thank you for watching. Take care, everyone. Good luck in Dimension's End when it finally drops. And I'll see you guys again here very soon. Take care, everyone, and see you later.